How's it going? I'm Eric Wist with Hive Real Estate Collective at Presidio Real Estate. This is Heather Ellis. She's an awesome Utah County photographer. And we're going to sit here and talk a little bit about photography. So, Heather, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a wedding and family photographer. And I've been doing this for 10 years now.
10 years?
10 years.
Here in Utah?
I started in Arizona. I've been in Utah for 8.
For 8 years.
Yes.
Do you, how'd you get started in photography?
I've always done photography, but I didn't get my nice camera until about 11 years ago.
Okay.
And then I just picked it up and started taking classes as many as I could. And
there's a lot that goes into photography, isn't there?
Yes.
It's not just point, click, and move on, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I know that's the big question that I always have of, well, I have a phone, why can't I take a picture with my phone? What's the big difference between, or advice that you would give to somebody that says, well, I have a brand new iPhone that takes amazing pictures, which they do, between that and hiring an actual professional photographer?
So the iPhones are great for every day. They do take good pictures. But a professional photographer, you're gonna get definitely still better quality images. They're gonna be able to be clearer, blown up, bigger. You can use them actually on your walls. You can use them in different lighting, which your phone is not always going to handle all the different lighting. And a professional photographer will know how to handle different lighting situations. They will have external lighting that you can use. And you'll just also get prettier pictures with the blurred background. The phones can do that now, but it's artificial. So if you look close at those, you can still see around the edges of the subject. It kind of makes weird lines because it's not really, it's just computer,
just the phone doing it.
So you can get good everyday pictures on your phone, but if you're wanting lasting quality images for weddings, families, you're gonna want a professional photographer to do those.
Okay, and I know what we were talking a little bit about earlier is that's one of the other things is even just posing somebody. I mean, yes. I have, say, a nice camera, but I don't know how to pose the family or my own family, or how do I say it? I know I take awkward pictures because I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
Where do you go?
And that's where, when we've hired for professional photographers, they're like, hey, do this, put this there, do that.
Yes.
And I can only imagine that's probably a big portion.
It is. Definitely. You just learn your eye, you train your eye to see. You can make people look thinner, you can make people look taller. I have a lot of tricks that if people come to me and say, I'm not comfortable, I feel this or this in front of the camera, I can make them feel comfortable and look the way they want to look. Whereas the phone is going to not necessarily do that.
Okay.
The phone pictures actually can make you look wider and not as pretty.
Okay, now what about here in Utah? Where do you do a lot of your pictures? Do you do a lot of outdoor? Do you do a lot of studio? How does that all work?
I tend to shoot outdoors. We have such a variety here between the desert, the mountains, lakes. I mean, we have everything. And so I prefer to shoot outdoors. I like to get out in nature. Even we have cool architecture here. I do some studio, but for me, my style, I prefer outdoors.
Okay. Now, how would somebody go about booking you, like, in advance? How does that work here in Utah?
It is, Utah's its own thing, because especially with weddings, we have some quick engagements that happen. So if you can book far out, especially summer months, June, July, August, September, even October, those are the busy months for weddings. So if you can book ahead of time, do it. But I mean, I have people that get engaged and say, my wedding's in 2 months, we gotta get this done. And if I'm available, we can book them. But I would say as soon as you can, find the photographer first for a wedding. For families, it's a little more flexible. If you are flexible, then I have more flexibility to fit you in.
Okay.
Always book as soon as you can. A month or two out is best. so that you have time to plan yourself and your outfits and everything. But I try to be flexible.
Especially here in Utah.
It's kind of all over here.
It's all, I guess, but that's with anything. Plan ahead.
Yes.
You can get a better deal. Maybe book a special. With that, do you have any? How do photographers do specials? Do you run specials? How does that work?
I usually do specials for my family sessions. I'll do mini sessions a couple times a year. And those are like 30 minute sessions. I just did those for fall. I will probably do some more. I do them about fall and spring.
Okay.
So if you can't quite afford a full family session, the mini sessions are a good option if you have the time to wait. For weddings, I usually do 1 or 2 specials a year as well. I'm doing a Black Friday special for $500 off my top 2 wedding packages, which are the most popular ones. And so that will be running through, I'll probably run it through December. So
that's a good one for going into the year end, right?
I do that from Black Friday,
Christmas.
to January 1st, because a lot of people get engaged.
And it doesn't mean you have to be married within that point.
No.
Just at least book it and get it done.
So if you know when your wedding is, you want to get booked, you want to get on that deal, then you just book.
Well, that's good. That's good pointers. Now, what other advice can you give people when, I'm sure you hear it all the time, well, I don't need family pictures, or what do you combat to say that? You know, the men out there of, I don't want any more family pictures. We already have a bunch.
That's my husband.
What do you say to that?
Everybody changes so fast. I say get family pictures as often as you can. And I like to do, in the family pictures, get couples pictures, get individual pictures. You might not want those. You might not think you look great. But you want those memories, because you just never know if if something's gonna happen, or if you're not gonna be able to take pictures. You just never know. So for me, I say do it. Who cares what you look like? Like I said, I'll try to make people look their very best. So if you're nervous, let me help you.
Okay.
But yeah, get the pictures done. Get those memories.
So the tips are: plan ahead. Don't worry about it if it's been a little bit for family pictures. Get them going, because you have kids grow up fast. Your times change. Like you said, we look different, different things in our lives, maybe different locations, different stuff. And so you can go back and show people, especially you can share it, because all your pictures, you provide digital copies too.
Yes.
So you can share on social media.
Yes. You get the digitals, you can print them wherever you want. And another thing is, sometimes if people wait too long, then they get stressed. They want the perfect outfit. They want the perfect hair. They're like, I don't know if I can pull outfits together in time. I hear that a lot. And to that I say, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If you have some solid clothes that kind of go together in your closet, that makes a great picture. It doesn't have to be
Don't stress
perfect.
out about all the little
It doesn't have to
things.
be stressed. And your kids don't have to behave perfectly. That's the time of life. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. They do not behave for pictures. And I don't mind. I have the cutest picture of my toddler pouting from his preschool pictures, and I love it, because that's him right now. So it doesn't have to be perfect.
That's good. Well, that's great advice. So everybody, Utah County. Now, do you primarily do Utah? Do you travel? Do you do all of Utah? Do you go out of state?
Right now with the little ones, I prefer to stay Utah County, Salt Lake County. So anywhere from Provo to Salt Lake area. For weddings, I'll travel a little bit farther. I've done weddings in Washington, D.C., and Arizona, and California, but
that's a case-by-case situation.
Yeah, so contact me, especially Arizona, because my family's there. I do love doing weddings in Arizona. But other than that, mainly right now, I'm trying to stay close to home.
Definitely the 1 and 3-year-old. So
it's not easy to travel at this point in time.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you, Heather, for that awesome interview. Please reach out to her. We'll put the links in the description below so you can ask any questions. She's great on information. I know she's given me a bunch of helpful hints. And we can go forward with that again. Thank you, Heather. This is Eric Wiss with the Hive at Presidio. So thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.